Motorcycle clubs operate in over 60 countries worldwide. Most survive for decades through wars with rivals, police operations, and internal conflicts. But some clubs don't survive. Some are destroyed in wars that kill their leadership. Larger organizations absorb some. Some are hunted by law enforcement until nothing remains. This is the definitive ranking of the 10 most powerful motorcycle clubs that ceased to exist, measured by how they operated, why they fell, and what they left behind. Number 10. Bad Company MC, New Mexico. Bad Company rode out of New Mexico in the late 1970s with plans to expand into Arizona. The club targeted Globe, a small mining town east of Phoenix, where local law enforcement was thin and opportunities were abundant. 2 members led the expansion, David Howell and Laird Criley, both 27. The problem was simple. Globe sat in Dirty Dozen territory. The Dirty Dozen controlled Arizona completely and did not allow outside clubs to operate without permission. Howell and Criley ignored this reality. They wore their colors openly in Globe and recruited locals. They established a presence in no time. The Dirty Dozen responded predictably. Members from Phoenix drove to Globe and found Howell and Criley. They severely beat both members. The message was clear: disband immediately or face consequences. Most clubs would have left, but Bad Company stayed. Howell and Criley continued to wear their patches and recruit. The Dirty Dozen responded again, but this time they sent their violent enforcer, Robert Chico Mora from Tucson, to handle the situation permanently. Mora was known for solving problems that diplomacy couldn't fix. Mora did what he was known for. He shot both men dead. Both men died instantly. Soon, law enforcement responded, and 11 Dirty Dozen members were arrested, including Phoenix chapter president Gary "Greasy" Stacy. Mora eventually pleaded guilty to manslaughter. He served approximately 2.5 years of a 5-year sentence. Bad Company never recovered from this tragedy. The club had no presence in Arizona after Globe. No other chapters attempted expansion into Dirty Dozen territory. The message resonated across the Southwest. Arizona belonged to the Dirty Dozen, and challenges would be met with lethal force. Number 9. Paradise Riders, Canada. Paradise Riders built their reputation across Ontario through the 1980s and 1990s. The club operated independently, with multiple chapters and a strong membership. They controlled drug markets, ran protection rackets, and maintained respect among Canadian outlaw clubs. Then the Quebec Biker War changed everything. From 1994 to 2002, Hells Angels and Rock Machine fought for control of Quebec's drug trade. The war killed 162 people, including civilians. The violence was unprecedented in Canadian history. The Hells Angels emerged victorious but recognized a critical problem. Rock Machine had allied with Bandidos, giving the Texas-based club a foothold in Canada. The Hells Angels needed Ontario because the province represented Canada's wealthiest drug market and most significant population. Controlling Ontario meant controlling Eastern Canada. The Angels already had Quebec, but they needed to prevent the Bandidos from establishing Ontario as a stronghold. Hells Angels made their move. Paradise Riders received an offer that wasn't really an offer at all. Join Hells Angels or face what Rock Machine faced in Quebec. The club's leadership understood reality. The Angels had credentials to back up every word. They had unlimited resources, international support, and absolute commitment to expansion. Paradise Riders weighed their options. After thinking it through, the club made the ultimate decision. December 2000 marked the largest patchover in Canadian history. Nearly 200 Ontario bikers joined the Hells Angels simultaneously. Paradise Riders made up a significant portion of this mass conversion. The club held meetings and members voted. The decision was unanimous. The patchover happened in waves across Ontario. Former Paradise Riders chapters became Hells Angels charters overnight. Members burned their old colors and received new patches. They swore allegiance to the red and white. Those who refused to join were forced to retire from the outlaw life completely. They couldn't keep their patches, couldn't form new clubs, couldn't ride with colors. The terms were absolute. Paradise Riders ceased to exist as an independent club on December 29, 2000. No chapters remained, and no members wore the colors. The entire organization converted to Hells Angels or disappeared from the motorcycle club scene. The strategic calculation was simple. Absorption meant survival, resistance meant elimination. Number 8. Morticians Undertakers MC, Denmark. Morticians MC formed in Denmark in 1984 as a Hells Angels support club. For 8 years, the arrangement worked. Members rode under Angels' protection, worked Copenhagen streets, and stayed loyal to the most powerful motorcycle club in Scandinavia. By 1992, the relationship collapsed. The Hells Angels were restructuring into a sophisticated criminal syndicate modeled after international chapters. The Morticians were evolving in their own direction. What had been a partnership became a rivalry. The split was permanent. The club needed protection from their former allies. They also needed a new identity. The Morticians rebranded as Undertakers MC and established 2 chapters, Northland in Stenløse and East Coast in Hørsholm, both in North Zealand. The name change signaled the break was final. The Undertakers contacted Bandidos leadership in the United States and France in 1992. At the time, Bandidos only had one European chapter, located in Marseille. The Undertakers explained their situation. They'd broken from the Hells Angels, they controlled Danish territory, and they wanted Bandidos' backing. Bandidos International agreed to consider them. The Undertakers served as prospective members, proving their loyalty and capabilities. On December 17, 1993, the transformation became official. The Undertakers MC patched over to become Bandidos MC Denmark. The patchover was complete. Undertaker's colors disappeared, replaced by Bandidos red and gold. The club that started as Morticians MC in 1984 ceased to exist as an independent organization. Denmark now had 2 international clubs, Hells Angels and Bandidos. The Hells Angels had permitted Bandidos' expansion into Scandinavia with strict conditions. 2 Denmark chapters only, no further growth. But Jim Tindon, the former Undertakers president who became Bandidos' European president, ignored the restrictions. In August 1995, the Northland chapter in Stenløse became Bandidos' European headquarters. A club that 9 years earlier operated as a Hells Angels support group was now commanding Bandidos operations across an entire continent. The transformation triggered the Nordic Biker War, which lasted from 1994 to 1997. Anti-tank rockets, hand grenades, and automatic weapons became standard. The conflict killed 11 people and wounded 96 more across Denmark, Sweden, Norway, and Finland. The war ended September 25, 1997, when Tindon and Hells Angels Europe President Bent Blondie, Svane Nielsen, signed a peace agreement on Danish television. But by then, the original clubs were history. Morticians MC vanished in 1992 when they became Undertakers MC. Undertakers MC disappeared December 17, 1993, when they patched over to Bandidos. The names exist only in Scandinavian biker history now. 8 years as Morticians MC, 1 year as Undertakers MC, then Bandidos Denmark, permanently. What started as a Hells Angels support club became the foundation for their greatest rival's European empire. Number 7. Satan's Choice, MC, Canada. Satan's Choice was formed in 1965 and became one of Canada's most powerful motorcycle clubs. The organization operated primarily in Ontario with multiple chapters and hundreds of members. For 35 years, Satan's Choice controlled significant drug markets and maintained independence. Despite pressure from larger clubs, the club's structure was sophisticated. Members ran legitimate businesses that fronted for drug trafficking and stolen property operations. Satan's Choice had connections to Italian organized crime families in Toronto and Hamilton. The club wielded genuine power in Ontario's criminal underworld. Throughout the 1980s and 1990s, Satan's Choice fought wars with rival clubs. They clashed with Outlaws, engaged in violent disputes with Paradise Riders, and watched Hells Angels expand across Quebec. The club survived these conflicts through strength and strategic alliances. The Quebec Biker War demonstrated the Hells Angels' capabilities. From 1994 to 2002, the Angels destroyed Rock Machine through systematic violence. Car bombs killed civilians. Assassination squads eliminated entire chapters. The war cost 162 lives and ended with Hells Angels controlling Quebec completely. The Angels then turned their attention to Ontario. The province represented Canada's wealthiest market and most significant population. Controlling Ontario meant dominating Canada. The Angels approached Satan's choice with a simple message: join us or face what happened in Quebec. Satan's choice leadership faced reality. Fighting Hells Angels meant destruction. The Angels had international chapters, unlimited resources, and absolute commitment. They had just won an 8-year war. They would fight for decades if necessary. December 29, 2000, marked the end of Satan's choice. The club agreed to patch over completely. This wasn't a merger or alliance. This was absorption. Every Satan's Choice chapter became Hells Angels. Every member swore allegiance to the Death Head. The patchover happened simultaneously across Ontario. Nearly 200 bikers from multiple clubs, including Satan's Choice, converted to Hells Angels in one coordinated operation. Chapters in Toronto, Hamilton, Ottawa, and other Ontario cities became Hells Angels charters overnight. Members who refused to join were forced into retirement. They couldn't wear colors. They couldn't form new clubs. They had to leave the motorcycle club world completely. The terms were absolute. Satan's Choice ceased operations after 35 years. No chapters remained. No members wore the original colors. The club's entire history, territory, and membership were absorbed into Hells Angels' Canadian expansion. Number 6. Lost Breed MC, New Zealand. Lost Breed formed in Nelson, New Zealand in 1976. The club established itself as Nelson's primary motorcycle club through nearly 4 decades of operation. Lost Breed claimed to oppose methamphetamine trafficking and domestic violence, though police disputed these claims publicly. The club operated in relative isolation. New Zealand's motorcycle club scene was smaller than Australia's or North America's, with fewer major clubs and less violence. Lost Breed maintained its territory without significant challenges for decades. The club had local connections, legitimate businesses, and respect within Nelson's community. Then the Hells Angels started expanding across the Pacific. The club established chapters in Australia, creating a strong presence in Melbourne, Sydney, and other major cities. New Zealand represented the next logical step in Pacific domination. The Angels identified cities where local clubs could be converted or eliminated. Nelson became a target because Lost Breed controlled it. The city wasn't large, but it represented strategic value. A Hells Angels chapter in Nelson would establish the club's presence in New Zealand's South Island. The Angels made their move and approached Lost Breed with their standard offer. The conversation happened privately, but the outcome was clear. Lost Breed could patch over to Hells Angels or cease operations entirely. There would be no independent Lost Breed in Nelson. The Angels wanted the territory and wouldn't negotiate. Lost Breed's leadership met to discuss options. Fighting Hells Angels was suicide. The Angels had unlimited resources, international support, and decades of experience destroying clubs. Some Lost Breed members agreed to patch over. Others refused and chose retirement. 2015 marked the end. The club was shut down by Hells Angels in a process that law enforcement described as a takeover. Members who agreed to the Hells Angels terms joined the new Nelson chapter. Those who refused were forced to leave the motorcycle club scene completely. Lost Breed colors disappeared from Nelson, and the clubhouse became Hells Angels property. Members who had worn Lost Breed patches for years now wore the Death Head or wore nothing at all. Hells Angels established their Nelson chapter immediately and announced their presence publicly. Local authorities confirmed that Lost Breed no longer operated in any capacity. The name, the organization, and the colors all ceased to exist. Lost Breed MC disappeared after 39 years of operation. The club never recovered, never reformed, never attempted to re-establish. Hells Angels had eliminated another regional club in their global expansion. Number 5. The Breed MC, New Jersey. The Breed formed in New Jersey in 1965 and exploded across the eastern United States. By the early 1970s, the club had 3,000 to 4,000 members with chapters in New Jersey, New York, Pennsylvania, Ohio, and West Virginia. The Breed represented one of the East Coast's most powerful motorcycle clubs. The club operated extensively in criminal markets. Members trafficked methamphetamine, committed robberies, ran extortion operations, and engaged in auto theft. The Breed also operated legitimate businesses, including tattoo parlors and transport companies that fronted for illegal activities. March 6, 1971. Changed everything. A motorcycle trade show in Cleveland brought together over 100 members from both the Breed and Hells Angels. Nobody knows exactly how the fight started. Within minutes, over 200 bikers were fighting with knives, chains, and clubs at the Polish Women's Hall. 4 Breed members died: Bruce Emmerich, Andrew Demeter, Emilio Gardel, and Thomas Terry. 1 Hells Angel was killed, Jeffrey Groover Coffey. 23 people were injured, including 3 police officers. Dozens of vans filled with police arrived to break up the brawl. 84 people were arrested at the scene. 47 Breed members and 10 Hells Angels were each charged with 5 counts of first-degree murder. Hells Angels launched a systematic campaign to eliminate the club. Shootings became common. July 25, 1971. Hells Angels shot and killed Breed member Alfred Bracesi on Staten Island. Another Breed member, Joseph Pasquarella, was beaten and slashed in the same attack. The violence escalated throughout the 1970s. Hells Angels threw a hand grenade at the Breed National President's house in Plainfield, New Jersey. The attack caused significant damage, but killed no one. The message was clear: nowhere was safe. The Breed fought back, but couldn't match the Hells Angels' resources. The Angels had more members, more chapters, and more money. Every Breed member killed weakened the club further. Every chapter that disbanded reduced its territory. The war of attrition favored the Hells Angels completely. Law enforcement operations added pressure. The Breed faced constant raids, arrests, and prosecutions. Members went to prison, and leadership was decimated. The club struggled to maintain operations while fighting a war on 2 fronts. Infighting created additional problems. As the Breed weakened, members questioned leadership decisions. Some chapters wanted peace with Hells Angels. Others demanded continued resistance. The club fractured internally while external pressures mounted. By 1990, the Breed had collapsed to approximately 900 members. The club lost its chapters in Ohio, Pennsylvania, and West Virginia. New York chapters disbanded. Only Central and South Jersey remained, along with a single Pennsylvania chapter in Bucks County. By 2000, membership had fallen to approximately 40 members. The club operated from 2 Jersey chapters and virtually nowhere else. The Breed existed in name only, a shadow of its former power. The club never officially disbanded, but ceased to function as a legitimate threat. Members drifted away, and chapters closed. The organization that once had 4,000 members across 5 states disappeared into history. 4. Bullshit MC, Denmark. United MC patched over to Hells Angels on December 30, 1980, becoming Scandinavia's first Hells Angels chapter. The move enraged Copenhagen's other motorcycle clubs. Several clubs united in opposition and formed Bullshit MC in 1983. Bullshit MC's membership was younger and less organized than Hells Angels. The club drew from Copenhagen's counterculture scene and benefited financially from Christiania's drug trade. Bullshit positioned themselves as defenders of Copenhagen's independent motorcycle culture against Hells Angels' international expansion. September 1983 marked the start of the Copenhagen Biker War. A group of Bullshit members visited a pub owned by Hells Angels. The encounter turned violent immediately, and the fight spilled into the streets. The war had begun. The violence was systematic and deadly. Bullshit MC targeted Hells Angels, members, businesses, and associates. The Angels retaliated with superior resources and experience. Shootings occurred weekly, and bombings damaged property across Copenhagen. The city's motorcycle scene became a war zone. The body count rose quickly. 8 bullshit members were killed in the first 2 years. The club lost 3 presidents to assassination. Each death weakened bullshit's structure and demoralized remaining members. 1 Hells Angel died in the conflict. 2 civilians were killed in crossfire, drawing public outrage and police attention. The murders forced Danish authorities to increase pressure on both clubs through raids, arrests, and surveillance. Bullshit struggled to match the Hells Angels' capabilities. The Angels had international support, experienced members, and unlimited resources. Bullshit had enthusiasm but lacked organization. The Angels could lose members and replace them. Bullshit couldn't. By 1986, Bullshit MC was effectively destroyed. The club had lost most of its membership to death, imprisonment, or departure. Leadership was dead or in hiding. By 1988, Bullshit MC had disbanded completely. No chapters remained, and no members wore the colors. The club's Christiania base was abandoned. Police discovered a body beneath Bullshit's former clubhouse floor during a 1986 visit. The victim's identity was never confirmed publicly. The discovery highlighted the war's brutality and Bullshit's criminal operations. The Copenhagen Biker War lasted from September 1983 until 1985. The conflict killed 9 people, 8 Bullshit members, 1 Hells Angel, and 2 civilians. Dozens were injured and hundreds were arrested. The war ended with Bullshit's complete elimination and Hells Angels controlling Copenhagen's motorcycle scene. Bullshit MC never reformed, never attempted to rebuild, never challenged Hells Angels again. The club existed for 5 years and was completely destroyed. Hells Angels had demonstrated that opposition would be crushed systematically until nothing remained. Number 3, Morbids MC, Sweden. Morbids MC formed in Helsingborg, Sweden in 1991. The club started small with only 6 members, but they operated in territory the Hells Angels considered theirs. By 1993, the Angels recognized Morbids as a potential problem. They needed to control the club before it grew stronger. The Hells Angels made their offer. Morbids could join the Angels, but only if they agreed to 2 conditions. First, they had to merge with Rebels MC, a rival club they'd already fought. Second, their leaders, Michael Ljunggren and Lasse Carlson, couldn't be part of the deal. The Angels wanted the members, but not the leadership. Morbids rejected the offer completely. Instead of submitting to the Hells Angels, they reached out to Undertakers MC in Denmark, who had connections with Bandidos MC in Marseille, France. Bandidos offered something the Angels didn't, which was respect and independence. On January 22, 1994, Morbids became a probationary Bandidos chapter. The Hells Angels responded immediately. Their support club, Rebels MC, shot up the Morbids clubhouse with automatic weapons. 1 week later, on January 26, 1994, Malmö Hells Angels chapter president Thomas Müller climbed onto the roof of a van and opened fire with a high-caliber submachine gun. A Morbids member lost a finger in the attack. The violence escalated fast. On February 13, 1994, 15 Danish Bandidos members were ambushed by Hells Angels associates at a Helsingborg nightclub. 13 shots were fired. Joachim Boman, a member of the Hells Angels support club Rednecks MC, died at the scene. 3 others were wounded, including both Hells Angels and Bandidos members. 8 days later, the Morbids retaliated. They attacked the Rebels MC clubhouse with a Carl Gustaf recoilless rifle, which is an 84mm anti-tank weapon. The projectile destroyed the clubhouse garage and swimming pool. The violence had crossed into military-grade weapons within weeks. This was just the beginning. What started as a local dispute in Helsingborg exploded into the Nordic Biker War, a 3-year conflict across Denmark, Sweden, Norway, and Finland. The war saw anti-tank rockets fired at clubhouses, hand grenades thrown into homes, and systematic assassinations of club leadership. Between 1994 and 1997, at least 11 bikers DII'd plus 2 civilians caught in the crossfire. On July 17, 1995, Michael Ljunggren, now the Bandidos Sweden national president, was assassinated while riding his motorcycle on the E4 motorway. Someone fired a submachine gun from another vehicle. Ljunggren died instantly. The murder has never been solved, but police believe Hells Angels members were responsible. The Morbids achieved what they wanted, which was Bandidos membership without surrendering their dignity. On January 28, 1995, they officially became Bandidos MC Helsingborg, Sweden's first full-patch Bandidos chapter. But the name Morbids MC disappeared completely. Their colors were replaced with Bandidos red and gold. Their identity was absorbed into the larger organization. Morbids MC lasted less than 4 years as an independent club. They chose transformation over destruction, but the result was the same. The club name, the original patches, and the independent identity vanished. In their place stood Bandidos MC Sweden, a chapter that would continue fighting the Hells Angels for 3 more years until a peace agreement ended the Nordic Biker War in September 1997. Number 2. Bandidos Canada. The Rock Machine patched over to Bandidos on December 1, 2001. The move gave Bandidos their first Canadian presence and created a new front in the ongoing war with Hells Angels. Consisted of former Rock Machine members and Loners MC bikers who had patched over together. The Toronto chapter was led by Giovanni John Muscadere, a 48-year-old Canadian national president. The chapter included George Jessam, 52, George Kriarakis, 28, Frank Salerno, 43, Paul Sinopoli, 30, Jamie Flans, 37, Michael Trotta, 31, and Luis Manny Raposo, 41. These men had survived Quebec's biker war and built reputations as serious criminals. The Winnipeg chapter operated as a probationary unit led by Michael Sandom, a 39-year-old former police officer. Sandom had worked in several Manitoba police departments before joining the outlaw motorcycle world. His law enforcement background created tension with Toronto members who didn't trust former cops. Sandom was ambitious and impatient. He sent emails to Bandidos International headquarters in Houston denigrating Muscadere as incompetent and dangerous. Sandom claimed Toronto's chapter brought unnecessary police attention and operated recklessly. The Toronto chapter had problems. Members were sloppy with security, failed to pay proper respect to the Bandidos hierarchy, and created conflicts with other clubs. Wayne Kellestein, a 59-year-old Bandidos member, owned a farm near Iona Station, Ontario. Kellestein was known for methamphetamine use and violent outbursts. He sided with Sandom in the dispute with Toronto and agreed to help resolve the problem permanently. April 7, 2006 began with phone calls. Toronto chapter members received messages about a mandatory meeting at Kellestein's farm. The meeting would address organizational problems and clarify membership issues. All 8 Toronto members drove to Iona Station that evening. The meeting was a trap. Sandom, Kellestein, and other Winnipeg members were waiting. The 8 Toronto members were disarmed and held at gunpoint. One by one, they were taken into Kellestein's barn and shot execution style. The process resembled an assembly line. Each victim was shot multiple times in the head. Their bodies were cleaned of blood, wrapped, and loaded into their own vehicles. Michael Trotta and Jamie Flans were ordered to mop blood from the barn floor before they were killed. The murders took several hours. After the shootings, the killers loaded 4 vehicles with the 8 corpses. The plan was to drive them to Kitchener for disposal. One vehicle ran low on fuel during the convoy. Rather than risk stopping at a gas station, they abandoned the plan. The vehicles were dumped in a cornfield approximately 14 kilometers from Kellestein's farm. April 8, 2006, at dawn, Russell and Mary Steele discovered 3 cars and a tow truck abandoned in their field near Shedden. They called the police. Officers arrived and found 8 bodies stuffed inside the vehicles. All had been shot in the head execution style. Ontario Provincial Police launched a massive investigation. By April 9th, they raided Kellestein's farm and arrested 4 people. 5 were charged with first-degree murder on April 10th. Police described the killings as an internal cleansing within Bandidos. June 16th, 2006, brought 3 more arrests in Winnipeg. Michael Sandom, Marcelo Aravena, 32, and Dwight Mushi, 41, were arrested and charged with 8 counts of first-degree murder. Police seized firearms, body armor, and documents, including MapQuest directions from Winnipeg to Houston, dated after the murders. The trial began in March 2009 and lasted until October. A witness known only as MH testified in exchange for immunity and witness protection. MH provided detailed information about the night of the murders, including who shot which victim and why. Wayne Kellestein received 8 counts of first-degree murder. Michael Sandom received 8 counts of first-degree murder. Dwight Mushi received 8 counts of first-degree murder. Frank Mather received 7 counts of first-degree murder and 1 count of manslaughter. Marcelo Aravena received 7 counts of first-degree murder and 1 count of manslaughter. Brett Gardner received 6 counts of first-degree murder and 2 counts of manslaughter. All received life imprisonment with no parole eligibility for at least 25 years. The Shedden Massacre was Canada's worst mass killing. Bandidos Canada collapsed immediately. The Toronto chapter was completely eliminated. The Winnipeg chapter was imprisoned. No other Canadian chapters existed with any real membership. Bandidos' international headquarters made no effort to rebuild in Canada. Hells Angels emerged as Canada's dominant outlaw motorcycle club. The organization that Bandidos had fought for years now controlled Canada completely. The 8-year Quebec Biker War, the patchover from Rock Machine, and the establishment of Canadian chapters all ended with 8 bodies in a farmer's field. Bandidos Canada ceased to exist in April 2006 after less than 5 years of operation. The club never recovered, never reformed, never attempted to re-establish a Canadian presence. For 1. Rock Machine MC, Quebec. Salvatore Cazzetta founded Rock Machine in Montreal in 1986 with his brother Giovanni. The Cazzetta brothers controlled significant portions of Montreal's drug trade, independent of the Montreal Mafia. Their operation was professional, profitable, and growing rapidly. Cazzetta and Maurice "Mom" Boucher had been friends in the early 1980s. Both men led the white supremacist SS Motorcycle Club and dominated organized crime in Montreal's Pointe-aux-Trembles district. The friendship ended when Hells Angels approached them separately about joining. March 1985 brought the Lennoxville Massacre. Hells Angels executed 5 of their own members from the Laval chapter. The murders demonstrated the club's brutality and discipline. Cazzetta witnessed this violence and refused to join the Hells Angels. He formed Rock Machine instead, as an independent alternative. Boucher joined the Hells Angels and quickly rose through the organization. By the early 1990s, he was president of the Montreal chapter and one of Canada's most powerful criminals. The Hells Angels controlled significant drug markets but wanted more. They wanted a monopoly on Quebec's drug trade. 1994 brought Cazzetta's arrest. Police caught him at a pit bull farm in Fort Erie, Ontario. He was charged with attempting to import 11 tons of cocaine valued at $275 million. The arrest removed Rock Machine's founding leader at the worst possible time. Claude Vézina became national president after Cazzetta's arrest. Boucher saw an opportunity immediately. With Cazzetta imprisoned, Rock Machine leadership was weaker. Boucher increased pressure on Rock Machine territories and dealers. He offered ultimatums: join Hells Angels or face destruction. July 13, 1994 marked the Quebec Biker War. 3 masked men shot Pierre Daoust, a Death Riders member affiliated with Hells Angels, inside his motorcycle shop in Rivière-des-Prairies. The Rock Machine had fired the first shot. Boucher convened emergency meetings with all Quebec Hells Angels chapters. By early August 1994, the clubs had formally voted for all-out war. Rock Machine formed the Alliance Against the Angels, a coalition of independent dealers, crime families, and smaller clubs who opposed Hells Angels' monopoly. The Dark Circle, the Pelletier Clan, and various independent operators joined Rock Machine's resistance. The violence escalated immediately. Shootings occurred weekly. Bombings damaged businesses and clubhouses across Montreal. Both sides targeted each other's members, associates, and income sources. The war consumed Quebec's criminal underworld. August 9, 1995. brought tragedy. A car bomb intended for a Hells Angels associate exploded near a schoolyard in Montreal. Shrapnel killed 11-year-old Daniel Desrochers, who was playing nearby. The boy's death shocked Quebec and forced government action. Public outrage was immediate. Police faced intense pressure to end the war. Quebec formed specialized anti-gang units. The federal government provided resources. The investigation intensified dramatically. Still, the violence continued. Boucher created the Nomads chapter in 1995. The Nomads were elite killers. Membership required commissioned murders. The chapter's sole purpose was to eliminate Rock Machine and Alliance members systematically. 1997 brought Boucher's most audacious move. He ordered the murder of prison guards to intimidate the justice system. June 26, 1997. Diane Levine was shot while walking home from work. September 8, 1997. Pierre Rondeau was killed during a prison van ambush. Robert Corriveau survived the same attack. The prison guard murders changed everything. Killing guards crossed a line that even organized crime respected. Police resources multiplied. Investigation intensified beyond anything seen in Canadian history. Boucher had made a fatal strategic error. By 1999, Rock Machine was losing badly. The club had sustained massive casualties. Leadership was dead or imprisoned. Income sources were disrupted. Recruitment was impossible. The larger and wealthier Hells Angels were winning through attrition. May 1999 brought a potential solution. Rock Machine became a hang-around club for Bandidos, the world's second-largest motorcycle club. The alliance gave Rock Machine international support and legitimacy. The colors changed from black and platinum to red and gold. December 1, 2001 marked Rock Machine's official absorption into Bandidos. The patchover happened at Rock Machine's Kingston chapter clubhouse. Former Rock Machine members became probationary Bandidos. This was unusual. Normally, patching over meant full membership immediately. The probationary status insulted many former Rock Machine members. March 2001 brought Operation Springtime before the patchover was complete. The massive operation involved the RCMP, the Sûreté du Québec, Ontario Provincial Police, Montreal Police, and 23 other agencies. Hundreds of bikers across Canada were arrested. Maurice Boucher and 41 associates were taken into custody. The Quebec biker war officially ended with Boucher's arrest. The final toll was staggering. 162 dead, including 9 civilians, 84 bombings, 130 cases of arson, and 20 disappearances. The 8-year war was the deadliest motorcycle club conflict in history. Rock Machine, as an independent organization, was destroyed. The club's original membership was killed, imprisoned, or absorbed into Bandidos. The patchover to Bandidos meant Rock Machine colors, name, and identity ceased to exist. The organization, founded in 1986, disappeared completely in 2001. The story didn't end cleanly. April 8, 2006, brought the Shedden Massacre. 8 Bandidos members, many of whom were former Rock Machine, were executed in Ontario. The massacre destroyed Bandidos Canada and left Hells Angels as the dominant Canadian club. Rock Machine reformed in 2007 with a new membership claiming no criminal ties. The reformed club insisted it represented motorcycle enthusiasm and brotherhood only. Law enforcement and journalists criticized these claims as public relations. The original Rock Machine MC that fought the Quebec biker war no longer exists. The organization was destroyed through an 8-year war that killed 162 people and ended with absorption into Bandidos. Those who survived the war became Bandidos and faced destruction 5 years later at Shedden. From Bad Company's 2 dead members to Rock Machine's 162 killed in 8 years, from Bullshit MC's 5-year elimination to Bandidos Canada's 8 bodies in a field. 10 clubs that challenged larger organizations, fought wars they couldn't win, or surrendered independence to survive. All ceased to exist, leaving only their stories as warnings about the cost of motorcycle club wars. But what happens when clubs don't just survive? They dominate entire countries? Click the next video to see how they built empires and controlled nations.